Got a new project today, so we're gonna jump on doing the strut conversion from the airbag to the regular coilover. The labor time claims it's going to be 2.9 hours per side. Luckily, this is my mom's car, and all the bitching and complaining I can do just pretty much goes out the window. So I guess I'm gonna have to be one with self and accept the fact that I'm not gonna make what I want off of this. So hey, it is what it is. All right, so I'm gonna do one side only, and I would assume it'll be the same for the other side, which it should be. I don't see why suspension parts are gonna be different from one side to the other, but who knows. So first off, I'm gonna pick the side here, and we're gonna do the right side first. I'm going to scan the car for any check engine lights because it seems like the car should produce a code if this is going to be disconnected, but I don't know. This is my first time doing this. I didn't do any research or read up on this, and I'm hoping that this is just a simple design as any other suspension part. They got a strut tower and a lower strut mount, so a fork on the bottom. We'll see what happens. Let me get it jacked up, get the wheel off, and we can get a better view of what's going on. Here we go, we got the wheel on. And I'm starting to remember why this probably has a 2.5 hour replacement time. Let me get the wheel turned. All right, so we can see the lower fork there. I would hope that this is not going to be a pain in the ass to get out, and I'm gonna try my best to not have to pull this out. We'll see. Seems like there's a bolt at the bottom of the air shock here, so I might have to pull that out. My biggest concern is that bolt that's in there is going to be seized up. We'll see. Up. And we see the control arms. These are a pain in the ass to get off. I'm gonna put it that way. I'm gonna be honest. I remember these being on like some of the Ford Focuses, and might I tell you, even the Chryslers. You know, that's just, I guess because it has so much surface area there, you're not able to really take them off that easily. But we'll see what our options are. Let me see. Let's go over here. There's a vacuum line. What looks like. I don't know what's gonna happen. There was no warnings, but let's see what happened. There's like a vacuum line there. Did I hear air? I don't know. I don't know if there's. I don't know how much pressure's in there, if it's gonna bleed off or anything. What I'm gonna do before I do anything on here. Like I said, I haven't done any investigating on here besides looking at the labor times and the repair. Just over some preliminary. I didn't specify anything about any warnings. So let me see what the options are as far as the options with the air suspension with the all-tail. You gotta bear with me, the fan because it's hot. So I'm in the air suspension right now. I'm just gonna see if there's any trouble codes before I do anything, because I know there's gonna be codes because this joker is gonna be disconnected. Let me see what kind of special tests we got. Height offset, signal check. Let's see what that is. The ECU function following has been replaced. Height sensor. So adjust the height after the following functions. Oh wow. Start the vehicle operate to high operating with normal speed. Just curious, but I'm not gonna go all the way in there. I just want to show you why we're replacing this. So after a while of driving, you hear that noise. So I'm thinking once I'm gonna see if I can take the lower bolt off from the fork down here. If I can zoom down here, right at the bottom. what that's connected to. Let me see if I can take that out and potentially remove the whole thing. I shouldn't have to take anything else off. So let me do that. Let me get the crown off so it'll expose the strut tower, the upper mount, and we'll go from there. Take off this cover here. See what we got. Oh shit. So I wonder what this is. Like a level sensor, I guess. I wonder if I leave it plugged in, will it keep the check engine light from coming on? We'll find out. But here's the problem there. I'm hoping I can take these out and we'll drop it low enough. Leave that right there. Back under it. The plan is to take this bolt out and see if I can slide the air suspension or this air shock off to the right here to get enough clearance to drop it. So wish me luck. All right, I'm gonna take off this. Oh shit! I'm gonna take off this ABS sensor here on the shock here. And I'm going to detach this level sensor, the bolt that's sitting up top. It's right there. I'm going to take that loose. So when I drop it, it wouldn't potentially compromise this sensor. I should have taken a little more precaution when I'm pulling that line out here, because I was introduced with a burst of air. Nothing severe, nothing major, not going to kill you, just startling. Anyway, moving on. So down here I got the lower bolt off from the I'm going to call it a fort. I don't know the other name for it. The lower strut mount, however you want to call it. Pulled it out, got the two bolts. These are 10 millimeters. The whole on this leveling sensor, just to be on the safe side, and then there's another one on the end here. Pull those out, and of course the ABS sensor. So I want to see what happens if I can shimmy this on out, and the hell am I grabbing? We'll see what happens. Hopefully. Okay, so I might need to just take this tie rod out. Let me turn the wheel a different angle, and I might just have to take the tie rod out, and I'll have enough clearance to pull that lower arm out for the shock, strut, air shock, however you want to call it. Move it out, and I should be able to extract it. Alright, so I got the wheel turned to the right. So you're gonna, let's see what happens. All right. Look at that. Fuck you, 4 hours. Well, yeah, that might be wrong. Unless I spoke too soon. Let me get the jack under the control arm and lift up on it. See how much room I can get. The 3/4. It's off here. Awesome. All right, let's see if the other strut fits. Let's match them up. New one. Seem like they look exactly alike. As far as the strut tower, I don't know yet. I'm gonna pull it out. Here we go. Yeah, it's like they're matching up. These have marks. I assume. Well, I'll figure out if I'm going on the right side or not. But it doesn't have if it's on the. Well, unless these arrows are supposed to face. I'm putting everything back in reverse order. So these new shocks came with a, struts assemblies came with a orientation in the back, just as a new one did. So I'm just gonna line everything back up, get it folded right back, and hope my check engine light don't come on or anything suspension related. Gotta do some planning. So shocks are a little longer than the air suspension ones. Down, I'll be okay. Just use the sway bar, so I might just take something and pry between the spindle here so I can just get it down, see what I can do. So while I'm messing with it, I haven't got it all the way bolted in there, but what I did was I took the sway bar link the bottom portion down. I took that one down. The bottom one that connects to the lower control arm, I took that off. I put the lower strut mount into its place, connected to the lower control arm there, and then I put one bolt at the top of the strut assembly. And what I'm going to do is make the two surfaces together here. So I was able to push down far enough to where it'll sit in there, and all I'm going to do is jack the bottom up to where it'll fall into place, and I should have plenty of room to get the bolt in there and tighten it up. Where's that joker at? I'm gonna have to use two hands to do this. So, and it's pretty dark, but that's how it's gonna seem to work here. And we'll see what happens. All right, it's installed. Got some minutes later, so the upper strut mount's installed. I got the 3 bolts in there. Got my, I think it's the ride height sensor, yaw sensor, I think that's what it's called. That bracket is put back into place. I took off the least amount of things possible, because I wasn't trying to make this into like a 4-hour job. But what I'm gonna do with this, I might just leave it exposed, or either I got some block offs I could use to cover that up, and more than likely I'm gonna do that. The thing about installing these, I'm concerned they're just gonna blow these jokers right on off, but I can't help but to think this. So really snug fit, so if it blows off, then it wasn't meant to be. But I don't think a zip tie is going to do anything to help that. It's on there though. I'm going to get the wheel on, lower the car, and as far as the check engine light or any type of ride height issues, I don't think we should have to worry about that. Why? Because I mean, it was already broken inside of there, so I don't think we got nothing to worry about. I'm gonna put that back on like as it was. I wound up using just the factory screws that came with it. Maybe I got them on backwards. Let me switch them up and put these other nuts on there. But I couldn't imagine where I put those a little bit. Let me switch them. Let's see how it works now. Alright, got it back on. I just had to push it down with my hand. I ain't going nowhere. Alright, let's get this tire back on and get it dropped. See what the ride height looking like. Alright, here's the ride height on the side that's done. It's about 4 fingers high. I'm gonna go on the other side. And it's like I can barely get 2 fingers in there comfortably, so it did raise it about an inch. I'm not gonna show the other side only because it's very tight in the space, and it's really dark. I don't have adequate lighting in that small confined space. So, but it's very simple. Now it is. So I'm assuming that it should be the same for the other side. Take off, and I'm referring to the right side that I'm doing, but the left side should be the same. I took off the sway bar link at the bottom. There was a 17 and a 6mm hex fit. Of course, you know, the wheel's going to be a 21mm. 3/4 to get the bolt that retains the shock absorber or the air shock. And what was the other one? This is a 7/8. That was a 7/8 I used to get the bolt that retains the lower fork for the strut. Took that out. I took I think that's the level sensor. That was, they had 10mm bolts, and I just took another 10 to the ABS sensor hanging on to the strut there. So, and of course the 14 to get this upper strut mounts off. Other than that, if anything changes from what I did a little while, oh shit, damn, thing failed. If anything changes, I'll update. This is the one we just pulled out. The strut mount is actually connected with the assembly here, unlike the passenger side, which was separated and what was causing all her noise here. So I'm not gonna go over all the other stuff, but you just basically will replace everything in reverse order, even though it took like literally half the time to do in comparison to the other side, what I just done. The labor time on this was 2.4 hours per side. Recommending you remove the actual spindle. I'm not gonna do that, but you know, that's book time, and hell, that's what people will charge. This is the easy way of doing it. I have no problem with people charging whatever they decide to charge as a result of it, even though this literally took me 25 minutes to remove. Less than that, really. But that's life. Anyway, I digress. So I just drove the car, and just want to show you that there's no codes present as a result of me doing conversion. Now I just left everything hooked up. That little valve, just want to prove that I went to the suspension, air suspension. Codes. Now that little stopper I put in, it wound up blowing out, so I guess you shouldn't put the stoppers in there. That little plug I put in, I don't, depending on how I edit the video, I might put it in there or not. But other than that, the conversion went pretty smooth, sorta, for the exception of that driver side, the left side. That dial wasn't calibrated, and I can't begin to tell you it's a bitch to get that shock calibrated with that dial on the fork there. So I spent a lot of my time fighting with that. I did not put the sway bar link on there yet. You don't really need the sway bar link to drive it. It's like 11 o'clock at night now. The parts store closed, so I'll just have to put it on tomorrow. But no more noise. Everything's fine. I'm gonna. While it's quiet now, I'm gonna go ahead and work on something else. I got some wiring issues to address. So, but the conversion kit literally don't take that long, assuming that the shocks or the dials are calibrated. I mean, I did take the long way. The right side went very smooth, taking literally like 25 minutes. It's unfortunate that the left side took like 3 times as long, only because it wasn't lined up. I mean, and it was like probably, 10 degrees off, you know. But long story short, it's on there now. Good luck. So I can tell you if it's off, and on to the next one.